Shea Patterson's journey from former 5-star quarterback to first overall pick in the USFL Draft is an interesting one to look at. Throughout his football journey, he has played for 3 high schools, 2 colleges, and participated in multiple alternate football leagues. Now, he hopes to break out in the USFL and make his way back to the NFL. But how did the former 5-star recruit get here? Stay tuned to find out. Shea Patterson was born on January 17, 1997 in Toledo, Ohio. His grandfather played basketball for the Detroit Pistons, and his younger brother committed to play football at Princeton over Michigan back in 2020. In 2008, Shea's family would move to Hidalgo, Texas, on the United States border when the mortgage business crashed. Shea's father, Sean, had a brother in Brownsville, which was 45 minutes east of Hidalgo, and his sister-in-law worked for the Border Patrol. As Sean Windsor from the Detroit Free Press puts it, his extended family offered stability. A job selling gymnasium flooring offered work. When Patterson played in the Army All-American game as an 8th grader, Hidalgo rented a couple of buses, packed them with students in the middle school band, and made the trek north to support their quarterback. Patterson spent his freshman year at Hidalgo High School, where most of his classmates barely spoke English, and to get to school, they legally walked over a bridge from Reynosa, Hidalgo's sister city on the other side of the Rio Grande, in search of a future. Shea was a phenom on the practice field, but would not be handed the starting job since the team was returning a senior who had thrown for 2,500 yards the year before. The senior would miss a day of practice and failed to tell the coaches he was not going to make it. So Patterson stepped in. During that freshman year, Shea dealt with multiple situations that may have caused others to crumble. He had to learn to communicate with teammates who maybe couldn't speak English and learn to understand the world beyond his home. Along with that, Windsor writes, almost every afternoon, the drug cartels sprayed bullets on the other side of the Rio Grande River. It got worse after dark. When the time changed in the fall and the sun fell over the horizon an hour earlier, Patterson's football coach sent the players who lived among the cartel homes early. It was easier to avoid stray bullets in the light. Patterson learned to think of the gunfire as normal, part of the oral backdrop to the football practice in Hidalgo, Texas. He learned to communicate and connect with others. Throughout his freshman year, his head coach was tough on him because he knew how great of a quarterback Patterson was. Shea led his school to the district championship where he was named MVP and earned offers from Arizona and Clemson. His high school coach told the Detroit Free Press, "What he did, you don't teach. Some people are born for certain jobs. He was born to be a quarterback, but you would never know it by how he carried himself." After his freshman year, Shea's father was transferred to Shreveport, Louisiana, and Shea would enroll at Calvary Baptist Academy, a school with a rich football tradition, whose athletic director, John Booty, was the father of 2 NFL quarterbacks. As a sophomore, he threw for 2,655 yards and 34 touchdowns, and followed that up throwing for 2,428 yards and 38 touchdowns as a junior. After leading the school to 2 straight state championships, going into his senior year, Patterson decided to transfer to IMG Academy in Brenton, Florida. He threw for 1,533 yards and 18 touchdowns, leading IMG to their first undefeated season in program history. Patterson finished his high school career playing in the All-American Bowl in San Antonio. After the game, as he walked off the field, the senior quarterback who he'd beaten out at Hidalgo was there to greet him with a hug. His former teammates had driven 5 hours north to see him play and wish him well. Sean told the Detroit Free Press, "If you do things right, if you treat your teammates right, they don't forget you." Coming out of high school, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Patterson was a 5-star recruit and the 4th best player in his class and highest rated pro-style quarterback. In July of 2014, he decommitted from Arizona and decided to commit to Ole Miss in 2015. As a true freshman, Patterson was the 2nd-string quarterback behind Chad Kelly. It looked like Shea was going to redshirt during the 2016 season, but when Kelly tore his ACL, Patterson took over the starting job and burned his redshirt year. He finished the year making 3 starts, throwing for 880 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Going to his sophomore year, Patterson was named the starting quarterback. At the time, Ole Miss was dealing with an NCAA investigation that found them guilty of multiple violations. They saw the departure of head coach Hugh Freeze and imposed a bowl ban for the 2017 season. In the first 2 games of the season, Shea earned national attention throwing for 918 yards and 9 total touchdowns. He broke multiple school records until he had his season cut short when he tore his PCL. At the time, he was leading the SEC in passing yards with 2,259 yards and 17 touchdowns along with 9 interceptions. Jordan Teamu would take over the starting quarterback job and impress during the tail end of the season. After it was announced Ole Miss was going to be banned for the postseason for the 2018 season, Patterson saw and was granted permission to explore a transfer to another school. He decided to transfer to Michigan and granted a waiver for immediate eligibility, claiming to be misled by Ole Miss coaches during his recruitment regarding the ongoing NCAA investigation. Ole Miss formally objected to Patterson's waiver appeal, saying they did not agree with Patterson's stated reason for transferring. Patterson was granted immediate eligibility and was named the starting quarterback going into the season opener against Notre Dame. He improved as the season went on, in 2018, throwing for 2,600 yards and 22 touchdowns while also rushing for 2 touchdowns on the ground. Under first-year offense coordinator Josh Gaddis, Patterson and Michigan struggled the first part of the 2019 season. At one point, Patterson traded snaps with Dylan McCaffrey, but finished the season strong, throwing for 3,061 yards, 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, while also rushing for 5 touchdowns on the ground. He finished his career 7th all-time on Michigan's passing yard leaderboard, passing both Tom Brady and Jim Harbaugh in the last 2 games. Along with football, Patterson was also a great baseball player, being taken by the Texas Rangers in the 39th round of the 2018 MLB Draft. He signed a contract with the Texas Rangers and spent a few games with the Round Rocket Express between the end of the summer football and the start of fall camp in July of 2018. Patterson reported to the 2019 minor league spring training before attending spring practice at Michigan. Patterson went undrafted during the 2020 NFL Draft and signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, but was later waived. He spent time with the CFL with both the BC Lions and Montreal Alouettes. Most recently, he was drafted 1st overall by the Michigan Panthers of the USFL. He will have to compete against former first-round pick Paxton Lynch for the Panthers' starting spot. Fox Sports' scouting report for Patterson says offers an intriguing natural skill set, boasts the arm, athleticism, and experience playing big-time football to project immediate success at this level, has quick, over-the-top release, and shows ability to throw with both power and touch, zipping intermediate passes through tight windows, as well as lofting balls over the top with ease. Patterson's arm talent is shown in his ability to throw just as accurately on the move, with designed rollouts a big part of his game. Possesses good agility to buy time in the pocket to escape the rush and isn't afraid to scramble when he sees the opportunity, rushing for 476 yards and 8 touchdowns at the collegiate level. Keeps his eyes downfield for receivers, making late route adjustments, shows the ability to react quickly, making him difficult to defend, to contain as both a passer and runner when the play breaks down. Experience playing out of the shotgun and under center. I'm excited to see how Patterson does in the USFL, but what do you think? Will Shea Patterson live up to the hype of being the 1st overall draft pick for the USFL? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider checking out my videos recapping the USFL quarterbacks taken in last night's draft. Along with that, if you enjoyed this USFL content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.